There's something I'd like to discuss with you regarding the new house you built for us. Oh? What's this all about so suddenly? Well, you see, it turns out that only my husband, mother-in-law, and I will be living in that house. Wait, what are you talking about? So my husband and I have decided that you won't be living there. You'll need to find another place to live. Wait, what? That house was built with my money. Why on earth can't I live there? It's your mother's wishes. My mother's wishes? What are you talking about? You know the house was built to accommodate your mother's wheelchair, right? Yes, that's right. Well, your mother has made it clear that she doesn't want to live with you. She said she absolutely doesn't want you to be the one taking care of her. She said that? It seems like you two haven't been on the best of terms for a while now. I mean, our personalities have clashed since I was young, but... Well, apparently your mother has been tolerating it for a long time. But now, as she approaches her later years, she just wants to live peacefully and freely. So she's decided that she doesn't want to live with you anymore. Imagine being disliked that much by your own mother. Wait, my mother said that? She told you this? Yes, she did. You could ask her directly if you'd like. I think I'll pass. I have a feeling I know what she'd say. Great! So it's decided that my husband, mother-in-law, and I will be living in the new house. But I paid for that house with my money. I have every right to live there too. Didn't you use your father's inheritance to build that house? So technically, it belongs to the family, and my husband and I, as the real family, will live there. There's no problem with that. Besides, your father's probably happy in the afterlife now that the one he disliked is no longer in the house. My father wouldn't have... He wouldn't say that. What does my brother say about all of this? Oh, he's thrilled. After all, who on earth would want to live with someone like you? It's no wonder you're still single at 30. That's not true, is it? Absolutely. So you better start looking for a new place soon, don't you think? We've given you a month's notice, which is more than fair, right? Yeah, I guess I can find another house. Good. Also, from now on, please don't come near our new home. I wouldn't want you ruining our happy family life, my loving husband, mother-in-law, and I. We deserve some peace. I see. Oh, I can't wait to start our new life in that beautiful new house.
Beth, did you go have a look at the new house?
No, not yet. I visited a few times while it was still under construction, but it's not quite finished.
Wow, I'm still shocked that you're really building a house.
Really? Why so surprised?
Well, I mean, you built it for Mom, right?
Yeah, so?
Come on, you and Mom haven't exactly been best friends. You two have had a rocky relationship for as long as I can remember.
That's true, but I promised Dad. It was one of the last things he asked me to do before he passed away. He made me swear I'd take care of Mom.
Dad really put that on you? Even though he knew how hard things were between you and her?
He did, yeah. I think he just didn't want her to be left alone. He asked me to make sure she was comfortable, especially since she's in a wheelchair now.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, I know you love Dad, but caring for Mom all these years, and now you're building a house just for her? That's a huge responsibility.
I know it seems like a lot, but Dad was everything to me. If this was what he needed for peace of mind, I'm happy to do it.
You even took a job where you could work from home so you could be around for her. That's a lot to take on. You don't think you deserve a break?
I've thought about it, but being here for her is something I'm okay with. I knew it would make caregiving easier.
I still feel bad about it, though. I should have done more. You've been carrying this all by yourself.
Don't feel guilty. You've had your own life to take care of. And now, with your job and marriage, you have new responsibilities. I never expected you to carry this burden.
But that's just it. I should have stepped up. I just feel like I've let you down all these years.
You haven't let me down at all. Really, I don't mind. Besides, we're family. We help each other out.
I'm just saying, now that I've got things more settled with my life, I want to make sure I start giving back to you. You've sacrificed so much.
That's sweet of you to say, but don't worry, I'll be fine.
I know, but still, it feels strange thinking about living together again. I haven't lived with you since high school, and that was, almost 10 years ago?
It does feel strange, doesn't it? A decade is a long time.
Yeah, it is. But it'll be nice, right? All of us under one roof again, just like old times.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
What do you mean?
Well, I've been looking at apartments.
Wait, what? Why? Isn't the new house for you, Mom, and me?
Yeah, but it looks like I won't be moving in with you all.
What are you talking about? You built that house. It's yours. Why wouldn't you move in?
Maddy suggested it might be better if I found my own place.
My wife, Maddy, said that? Why?
It's complicated. She feels that it might just be better if just you, her, and Mom lived there.
That doesn't make any sense. You built the house for Mom. You're supposed to live there too.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, but Maddy brought up some things that made me reconsider.
What things? What did she say?
Well, she pointed out that maybe Mom would be happier living with just you two, that maybe my presence would complicate things.
Complicate things? How? You've been taking care of Mom for years.
I know, but Maddy thinks Mom might be more comfortable without me around. I guess it's more about giving Mom space. She doesn't want her feeling crowded.
That sounds like Maddy's trying to push you out of the picture. Are you sure that's what Mom wants?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't talked to Mom about it yet, but I trust Maddy wouldn't suggest something like this if she didn't think it was for the best.
I don't know, Beth. Something feels off. You've done so much for Mom. You're the one who's been here for her day in and day out.
I'm not upset. If it's better for Mom, then I'm willing to step back. I've always wanted what's best for her.
So, what happens now? You're really gonna move out?
I think so. I'll find a place nearby so that I can still visit often and help when needed. I won't be far.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Maybe it's time for me to have a little space too.
I guess, but it still feels weird.
It does, but sometimes change is necessary. We'll figure it out. And don't worry, I'll still be around if you or Mom need anything. Beth, could you leave the key to the new house in the mailbox? I'll pick it up on moving day. Hey, are you really sure I can't live there with you all? I spent so much money building that house, and now I don't have any money left for a move. No, sister-in-law, we've already been over this. We agreed, didn't we? You're moving out. Actually, I don't recall making such a promise. Oh, stop it already. For once in your life, try considering how your parents must have felt. My parents' feelings? What do you mean? Can you imagine how much it must have pained them to raise a daughter they didn't even like? This is your one and only chance to do something for them. The least you can do is accept our request without causing a scene. I see. Well, I've already done a lot. I built the house, cared for Mom, and tried my best to be a responsible family member. Even though Mom and I never got along, I always considered her family. It looks like that was all just in your head. But I accepted you too, you know. As my brother's wife, I thought of you as part of the family. I welcomed you as someone important to him. Why are you treating me like this? You're supposed to be close to Mom, right? Can't you at least try to convince her to let me stay? Are you serious? Of course not. Why would I do something like that? My share would get smaller. Wait, your share? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the inheritance, of course, and my husband's earnings. What does that have to do with anything? I'm saying that I don't want to share any of that money with you. It's all mine. But the inheritance was already divided between me and my brother. I'm not going after your husband's money. Oh, please. You and your little remote job, you're not making enough to even get by. I'm not risking anything when it comes to my husband's income and our future. That's ridiculous. The inheritance was settled a long time ago, and I don't care about his earnings. Yeah, right. Like I'd believe that. You work from home, and let's face it, that's hardly a real income. All the wealth and earnings belong to me. The only reason I even married your brother was because he was an elite with a fat paycheck. I see. So that's all this was to you? Just money? Of course. What else is there? I've heard enough. Now, I understand what this is all about. So, now that the house is finally finished, my mother-in-law and I will head over there ahead of everyone else. Oh, really? Well, how thoughtful of you to go out of your way like that. I truly appreciate everything you've done for us. You went so far as to build this house just for us. Now we'll never have to worry about finding a place to live for the rest of our lives. Isn't my brother going with you guys? Oh, he said he had some other errands to run, so he left this morning. For now, it's just the two of us heading over to the new house. I see. But honestly, isn't it quite pitiful? Pitiful? What do you mean? I mean, you went to the extent of building an entire house only to end up handing it over to us. If you don't think that's pitiful, then what would you call it? Well, laugh as much as you want. Have you already found a new place for yourself? There's no need for me to discuss that with you. True, but just so you know, mother-in-law mentioned that she's completely severed ties with you. I expected nothing less from her. Well then, I hope you get along well with her. Yes, and do make sure to leave the family home as soon as possible. Hey, what's going on over here? Oh, I see you're contacting me again, despite our arrangement to sever ties. Of course I'm reaching out. Where is the key? I need it to get into the house. The key? What key are you referring to? The key to your house you bought for your mom. I specifically asked you to leave it in the mailbox so that I could pick it up on moving day. Oh, right. I remember you mentioned that. I thought you were joking, so I didn't take it seriously. What? Are you out of your mind? No, I'm completely sane. How can you be so nonchalant about this? Well, the house was purchased by me, so why should I be the one not living there while you and your family are moving in? It just doesn't make sense. I understand that my mother doesn't want to live with me, but why should I be forced out of a house that I paid for with my own money? From a logical standpoint, that really doesn't make any sense, does it? I thought you would at least make arrangements to find yourselves a new apartment. I can't believe you actually plan to live in my house. How could you be so audacious? So, what now? Are we supposed to end up with no place to live? It looks like that might happen if you don't do something about it right away. In that case, you need to start searching for a new place immediately. Would you like me to introduce you to a real estate agent I know? Don't joke around. It's unbelievable that you're pulling this kind of spiteful stunt. Spiteful? You're the one who has been causing all sorts of trouble. What you've done to me is much more spiteful than anything else. What are you talking about? You made me go through the trouble of building the house and then told me to leave. That's not something a decent person would do. But you have to understand, mother-in-law was genuinely looking forward to living in that house, and this is how you repay her? Isn't that just pathetic? I don't care. I have already cut ties with her. She is no longer considered my mother. How can you be so heartless? Heartless? How so? I had to endure daily criticism from her. Despite everything, I cared for her because it was Dad's dying wish. I dedicated my personal time, my shopping, and everything to taking care of her. And now, after building the house, I'm being treated like I'm no longer needed. You're not going to set foot in that house, so find somewhere else to live. So that was your plan all along, wasn't it? Let me make it clear, it wasn't just me who was supposed to live in that house. My husband was also supposed to be part of that plan. I was aware of that. I wonder how he'll react when he finds out. He was so enthusiastic about moving into the house. Just so you know, my husband was still on your side, but after this, he might end up distancing himself from you as well. If my brother decides that, then I have no right to argue. I'm going to contact him right now. And then you'll be left all alone, but don't blame me. That was your own doing. Well, hurry up and contact him. All right, I'll do it even without being told. I've got a lot to sort out with him on this anyway. Mitch, we've got a problem.
Maddy, what's happened?
I can't get into the house that Beth bought. It's locked, and she's refusing to give us the key.
What? How did this happen? Is there some sort of trouble?
It's not a mistake. It's deliberate. Beth is trying to force me and your mother out.
Beth is doing that? But why? I thought she was committed to helping out.
Well, apparently she's changed her mind. She claims that your mother and I are a nuisance and doesn't want us around.
But you and my mom haven't always seen eye to eye with her. Still, I didn't think she'd go this far. Are you sure this is happening?
Absolutely. She built the house for your mother and promised it would be our new home. But now that we've completed all the moving preparations, she's saying we can't enter the house. It's like she's deliberately trying to make our lives difficult.
This sounds like outright harassment.
Doesn't it? I am so frustrated. It's like she's forgotten all the promises she made. This isn't just about moving. It's about her being cruel and unjust.
You really believe this is her trying to harass you, though?
Yes, I do. Why else would she do this if not to cause trouble? It's her way of getting back at us.
Well, let me be clear. The root of this situation isn't just my sister's actions. It all stems from the relationship you and my mom have had with her.
What are you talking about, Mitch? Are you saying this is our fault?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Do you think I'm unaware of what's been going on? This situation didn't just come out of nowhere.
I see. So Beth must have been feeding you lies about us. That's why you're blaming us.
That's not it at all. This situation is more complicated than you're making it out to be. Why else would my sister choose not to live in the house she bought?
Well, she didn't share the details, and neither did you or your mother. I thought it was something you were all aware of.
You should have questioned the situation more thoroughly. The person who built the house wasn't planning to live there, and you didn't think that was strange?
I didn't question it because I'm not familiar with these family dynamics.
If you had any common sense, you would have seen that forcing your sister-in-law out was wrong.
But it was your mother who was the one being unreasonable.
And yet you sided with her instead of trying to find a solution. You also reported it as if my sister was at fault. I'm disappointed in both you and my mom for how you've handled this.
Wait a minute. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Think about how much effort my sister put into supporting my mom. She went through a lot to build the house. It was a huge financial burden, and she took on a massive mortgage just for my mom's sake.
But wasn't the home purchased with your father's inheritance?
No, Beth didn't use any inheritance money for this. She loved our dad deeply and wanted to preserve his legacy. She earned the money herself and used it to buy the house. And yet you and my mom are trying to push her out of the house she worked so hard to secure. I will not forgive this. Don't contact me again about this.
Mitch, wait. Mitch, please answer me.
I'm done discussing this. Your actions have consequences, and I'm not willing to tolerate them anymore.
Please, Mitch, listen to me. We're in a difficult situation, and I need your help.
You should have thought about the repercussions before making these decisions. I'm not going to support or condone any more of this behavior.
What am I supposed to do now? We are out of options, and I don't know where to turn.
I'm sorry, but this is the path you've chosen. It's time to face the reality of the situation.
So you're just going to leave us to deal with this all on our own?
You need to take responsibility for the choices you've made. It's not fair to expect others to clean up your mess.
Fine, I understand. But Please, don't turn your back on us entirely.
I'm not turning my back, but I can't support actions that I believe are unjust. It's up to you to find a solution.
I'll figure something out, but I want you to come back to me soon, okay?
Good luck. I hope you figure some way out of the problem you created for my mom and you. But don't expect me to be coming back to you both anytime soon.
Wait, but Mitch...
Goodbye, Maddy.
You really went and told my husband about all this, didn't you? Told him? What are you talking about? Because of you, I can't get in touch with him anymore. Oh, that. Well, I did mention to him that there might be problems with moving into the new house. He asked for details and I gave them, but it wasn't snitching, I just answered his questions. So what you're saying is we can't actually move into the new house? Given that you and my mom tried to push me out, it's not surprising that you won't be able to live there. Well, it's not the end of the world. I'm not too worried about not being able to move into that house. Oh, really? You don't mind? Yes, really. I was thinking of moving into the new house because you said you built it, but if you don't want us there, fine. I still have my apartment with my husband, so we'll just live there with your mother. Oh, that's actually a good alternative. It's great that you've thought of something. But isn't your husband quite upset about all this? He's definitely not happy, but he won't just abandon his mother. He's not the kind of person who would leave her in a lurch like that. So if we end up living together, this argument should blow over soon enough. That might be the case. And you'll just be all alone in the new house. Whether I'll be alone or not is uncertain, but I'm pretty sure you won't have a home to go back to. What do you mean? My brother told me he's already started the process to end the lease on that apartment. He's ending the lease? Yes, as soon as I updated him about the situation, he took immediate steps to cancel it. But he said the lease termination was still some time away. It seems that once he received my report, he acted swiftly to terminate the lease. Why would he do that? He saw firsthand how much effort I put into caring for our mom, and he was frustrated that you and her had ignored that. He decided it was necessary to act quickly. So, what about my husband? He's found another place to live, and he's made it clear that he won't be sharing that information with you or our mom. This is unbelievable! So, you and my mom will need to find a new place. Finding a new place shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, you're quite confident about that. Of course, we have the money to find a new home. It's not an issue. Money? But aren't you and my mom both out of work? We have resources. There's still the inheritance from your father. Oh, really? Oh, you seem to be quite uninformed then. What are you talking about? My mom has already blown through that inheritance on some dubious investments. What? That's impossible! It's very possible. If you don't believe me, ask her yourself. She poured all the money into risky ventures and lost it all. I had no idea about this. I'm not surprised. Knowing my mom, she wouldn't openly discuss her financial mishaps with anyone. That old hag! Please don't speak about my mom that way. So you're just leaving her behind now? I've done everything I could for my mom. I put up with her constant criticism for my dad's sake, but now that she's rejected me, I'm under no obligation to continue. My mom chose you, and I'm stepping aside for her happiness. I will leave it to you to care for my mom now. So, you're really abandoning her? I'm not abandoning her. I'm simply no longer responsible for her well-being. You and my mom will need to figure things out on your own. I can't believe how selfish you're being. Selfish? I'm just setting boundaries. I've given more than enough, and now it's time for me to focus on my own life. And what if things don't go as planned? What if you end up needing support? I'll handle that if it happens. Right now, I'm focusing on making a fresh start and moving forward with my life. You really think everyone will be fine just like that? I believe so. I've made the necessary arrangements to ensure my future is secure. And what about us? Where does that leave us? It leaves you and Mom with the task of finding a new place to live. I hope you're prepared for that challenge. You've made things incredibly difficult for us, though. I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm not responsible for your situation after what you both did to me. I'm just trying to move forward. You know, this could have been handled differently. You didn't have to make things so harsh. I did what I thought was necessary. Sometimes harsh decisions are needed to move on from a difficult situation. But where is the compassion in that? We're all still family, after all. Family doesn't mean we have to live together under every circumstance. We all have to do what's best for ourselves. And I don't remember either of you ever treating me like I was part of the family. I know. But what if you end up regretting this decision? I doubt I will. I'm confident that this is the best choice for me right now. And if things fall apart? I'll face that when it comes. For now, I'm focusing on the positive aspects of my new beginning. You really are heartless, you know. Heartless? I'm just trying to prioritize my own well-being. I've done a lot for my mom, and now it's time for me to focus on myself. And what about the future? What if you need support from us? I don't anticipate needing support. I've planned ahead and made sure that I'm prepared for any eventualities. Well, I hope you're right. Not like either one of you ever supported me in the first place anyway. Now, I've got a bunch of other things going on. Please let my mom know that I'm not going to forgive either one of you after what you've done and will no longer be coming back. Goodbye. Wait, Beth! I can't wait to start my new life in my new home. So, in the end, Maddy decided to divorce you and won't be living with Mom anymore, right?
Yes, it's true. I have indeed decided to leave Maddy and not stay with Mom. I had a feeling that Maddy would eventually abandon Mom. It seems like she was only interested in Dad's inheritance.
Exactly. Maddy's interest was always in Dad's estate. She treated Mom kindly all this time just to secure her position. It's clear now that she had ulterior motives.
It's so disheartening to see that my own wife would go to such lengths to get what she wants. But I suppose that's no surprise given what we've seen so far. Yes, it's disappointing, but now we need to think about what to do with Mom.
What's the plan for her?
As we discussed before, I'll be putting her into a care facility. The cost of that will be covered by me.
Are you sure you can handle it? With the divorce and everything, won't it be difficult?
Don't worry about that. I know I've asked you to take care of Mom for so long, so this is the least I can do. I want to make sure she's well taken care of, especially since Maddy is out of the picture.
I appreciate that, but what about you? Are you okay with everything? It sounds like you're going through a lot.
Don't worry about me. I've grown up a lot and I can handle things on my own now. I'm an adult and I've learned to take care of myself and make my own decisions.
I see. It's strange how quickly things have changed. I remember when you were younger and now you're handling everything so maturely. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Beth. It hasn't been easy, but I've had to step up. Losing Maddy is tough, but I know it's for the best. It's time for a new chapter, both for me and for Mom, hopefully.
Absolutely. It's important to move forward. And as for me, I want to focus on my own happiness from now on. After everything that's happened, I think it's time for me to prioritize what I want.
That sounds like a good plan. You deserve to be happy. I hope you find what you're looking for and live a fulfilling life.
Thank you. I'll need to think about what truly makes me happy. I guess in a way, I've always focused so much on taking care of everyone else that I forgot to take care of myself.
It's understandable. Sometimes when you're busy taking care of others, you neglect your own needs. But now is the time for you to find joy and contentment in your own life.
Yes, it is. And it's comforting to know that you're taking charge of things. It's reassuring to see how responsible you've become.
Well, I've had to learn quickly. Life throws unexpected challenges at us, and we have to adapt. It's been a journey, but I'm getting there.
I can see that. And even though we've had our differences in the past, I want you to know that I support you. I'm here for you and we're in this together.
Thanks, Beth. I feel the same way. Despite everything, we're family and we need to support each other. I'm glad we're able to talk openly and share our thoughts.
Me too. It's been a difficult time, but talking things through helps. I hope that moving forward, we can both find peace and happiness.
I hope so too. It's important to find closure and move on from the past. We've been through a lot, but we can start anew and focus on creating a better future.
Yes, exactly. And with everything that's happened, I've learned to appreciate the little things more. Life's too short to dwell on the negatives.
That's a great outlook. We should cherish the good moments and make the most of what we have. It's the best way to honor the memories and move forward positively.
Absolutely. And with Mom hopefully going to a good place and us finding our own paths, I think we can finally start to rebuild and find our own happiness.
Yes, let's do that. We've been through so much, and now it's time for us to take control of our lives and create a future that we can be proud of.
Agreed. Here's to new beginnings and finding joy in the journey ahead. We've got this.
We do. And no matter what happens, we'll face it together. Thanks for being here and for understanding. It means a lot.
Anytime. I'm always here for you. Let's move forward with hope and determination.
Sounds like a plan. Let's embrace the future and make the most of every opportunity that comes our way.
After losing her place to live, Maddy initially tried to return to her parents' home, hoping to find refuge and a semblance of stability. However, the situation was far more complicated than she had anticipated. My brother had already informed her parents about everything that had transpired, including the contentious issues and family disputes. This disclosure ignited a furious reaction from her parents, who were outraged by Maddy's actions and decisions. Her parents' anger was palpable and intense, leaving Maddy with no choice but to seek alternative solutions. Her attempts to reconcile or find a way back to her family home were thwarted. The relationship with her parents was now irreparably damaged, and Maddy found herself isolated from her own family. The support she had hoped for was now completely out of reach. In the immediate aftermath of this family fallout, Maddy sought temporary refuge with friends. She stayed at their homes, hoping for some stability and a chance to regroup. However, this arrangement was short-lived. While it provided a temporary solution, it was clear that she could not remain a guest indefinitely. The instability of her situation soon forced her to look for a more permanent solution. After a challenging and stressful search, Maddy managed to secure a small, inexpensive apartment. This apartment, while modest and far from ideal, was a place she could call her own. It was a necessary step towards regaining some semblance of independence and control over her life. Despite the new apartment offering a roof over her head, Maddy's financial situation remained precarious. To support herself financially, Maddy took on a part-time job at a convenience store. However, this new job brought its own set of challenges. Adjusting to the fast-paced environments and the demands of the role proved difficult for her. She struggled with the tasks and often found herself overwhelmed by the expectations set by her manager and coworkers. The pressure and constant criticism took a toll on her, and the stress of trying to meet job requirements only compounded her difficulties. Her daily experiences at the convenience store were marked by frustration and dissatisfaction. Maddy's inability to cope with the demands of the job led to frequent absences. Her lack of commitment and the repeated failures to show up for work did not go unnoticed by her employer. The consequences of her actions were swift. She was eventually terminated from her position at the store. The loss of her job only exacerbated her financial struggles and deepened her sense of despair. With her job gone, Maddy's financial situation deteriorated further. She struggled to manage her expenses and soon found herself accumulating debt. The mounting pressure of debt collectors and unpaid bills created a constant state of anxiety and fear. Maddy's life had become a daily struggle to avoid confrontation with those seeking repayment and to find ways to make ends meet. In the midst of this turmoil, Maddy's life became a series of attempts to stay afloat. Her situation was increasingly dire, and the financial strain led her to borrow more money to cover her basic needs. The cycle of borrowing and accumulating debt created a spiral of stress and uncertainty. Each day was a battle to navigate the challenges of her new reality while trying to avoid further financial pitfalls. Meanwhile, my family's decision to place their mother into a care facility was carried out as planned. Despite the decision being made with the intention of providing her with care, my family never visited the facility. This absence left my mom in a state of loneliness and isolation, marking her remaining years with a sense of abandonment. The decision to place her in the facility was practical, but the emotional distance from her family compounded her suffering. Maddie's life was marked by a stark contrast to the reality of my mom's situation. The struggle for stability and the relentless pursuit of solutions highlighted the broader challenges faced by individuals in difficult circumstances. Her experience was a reflection of the emotional and practical difficulties that can arise from strained family relationships and financial instability. As Maddie continued to navigate the consequences of her decisions and the impact of those around her, it became evident that her path forward would be fraught with obstacles. The challenges she faced in securing stable employment and managing her finances illustrated the difficulties of rebranding life after significant setbacks. Her story became a testament to the resilience required to overcome adversity and the profound effects of family dynamics on individual lives. The cycle of hardship and isolation that Maddie experienced underscored the broader struggles faced by those who find themselves without support and resources. Her journey was marked by the continuous effort to cope with the fallout of past actions and to find a way to move forward amidst overwhelming challenges. The stark contrast between her struggles and my family's detachment revealed the emotional and practical complexities of navigating life's difficulties. In summary, Maddie's life was a series of challenging events and difficult adjustments. The loss of family support, combined with the burden of financial strain and job instability, created a daunting reality for her to live with forever.